And we're back. Good morning from the office. BKP here, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I'm here with my co-host, George McClellan. George, how are you?
I couldn't be better. Beautiful morning. Rained a little more last night. Everything is green coming out of the Coosawattee along Legion Road. I can't believe how green it is. Great crop of kudzu this year.
Bring this young man in. Lonnie works with him every day. He's co-pilot. Now he is actually flying the plane, Cole is. And first thing I know, I can't find Lonnie. First thing I know. I knew it was coming. That's the way these kids are. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Lonnie, if you're out there, could you text me and tell me what's going on, where you're at? Oh, folks, in the earlier segment, I got a couple quick things here. In the earlier segment this morning when I was getting worked up, I did mean to say, thank you for your text, Secret Service. I was saying CIA because I was worked up, and I meant to say Secret Service, so I apologize, and I will clear up what I meant by that. And also, tomorrow at 8:30, my guest, we are not going to be focusing, we're going to stay focused on actual things that are important, like the 27-year-old kid that got killed, the DNC staffer that nobody will talk about. But all the TV shows this morning are more concerned with the NRA and what Donald Trump said than the life of a 27-year-old kid that gets snuffed out. But they don't steal anything, George. His wallet's still there, his watch is still there, everything's there.
He was the WikiLeaks source for the DNC.
But it's more important on Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Okay, Donald Trump released, folks, he released his tax plan. Monday, he released his tax plan Monday in Detroit, right? He gave a speech.
He did. It was a great speech.
Our guest tomorrow will be Steve Moore. Put that picture up. Do you know economist Steve Moore? Steve Moore is one of the economists on Trump's team. I spoke to Mr. Moore yesterday for about 10 minutes. He is actually traveling with Trump during his every time he does his economic speeches. He is working with Donald Trump. He is part of, he helped rewrite the tax plan. So he will be on our show at 8:30 tomorrow morning. You want to tune in for that. We're going to be talking to him about the tax plan that Donald Trump released this week. Some serious stuff in the campaign. So Steve Moore will be my guest tomorrow morning at 8:30. Economist Steve Moore. George, how are you?
Couldn't be better. I see Paul Ryan won decisively.
Congratulations to him.
He will remain our untrustworthy Speaker of the House. I will get into that in my short takes.
Well, you know, the one thing, George, is the media is saying that it is time for the down ticket. It is time for senators to save their seat. It is time for Republicans to save both houses. It is that's what they're saying, okay? And Joe Scarborough says this morning, he says, Republicans need to come out and say that with the House we can do this, with the House we can do that. George,
we've had the House for 8 years and they've done not a damn thing.
And we've had the Senate for the last 2.
And that's exactly right. So you know, that formula is not working and it has to be changed. That's why people don't trust them. We do not trust them. But we do trust Trump. Because he tells us what needs to be done.
It's not enough for Pat Toomey in Pennsylvania to save his seat. It's not enough for these people to save their seat. And that is the code word, to save their seat, not the country.
Yep, that's right. You know, there are other Republican candidates who could fill that seat. They don't have to keep those elites in there. They just don't need to be there.
Well, Paul Ryan will go back as Speaker of the House. Congratulations, Mr. Ryan. He'll be going back as Speaker of the House. He won decisively yesterday in Wisconsin. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. If you'd like to sponsor our show, 706-889-9700 or chief@fetchernews.com. That's chief@fetchernews.com. If you'd like to become a sponsor, get a commercial or get your ad on Fetcher News. I want to thank Dave Chevrolet, located in Jasper. Circuit World, promotional code FetcherNews.com. If you walk in Circuit World and go by and visit the shops of Sycamore Crossing, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge. And L&L Beanery, if you're wondering what's going on, that is turning into the Vault. Nathan Fitz has purchased that business, and that will soon be the vault. They're renovating it now right there where L&L Beanery was. Salon 84 Hair and Color at West Church Street in Jasper. Make your appointment today, 706-253-9876. That's Salon 84 Hair and Color. George, they're talking about Trump being down double digits in Pennsylvania and Trump being 1 point down in Florida. I'm not concerned about these polls.
Not at all. You know, the one poll out there that they don't show us is the attendance at his rallies. He still draws the same amount of people to his rally. He fills the houses, yet the Democrats shop now. They Photoshop crowds in Hillary's things. Nobody shows up at them. They hired people to go to the convention and sit in there. So, you know, that's the real test right there.
Hey, you hit the nail on the head. They Photoshop their rallies, and what I was talking about in my first half hour is optics are important. If you have a cameraman, at one of these rallies and he accidentally pans the audience and he gets a section that's missing 50 people, that's his last day. The reason you're seeing the backdrop behind Hillary is that's the people they pack in, but you're not seeing the audience because they're not there.
They're not there.
Okay.
Right.
So the bottom line is, you know how it works, George. You're not in the candidate's backdrop in the optics if you were not chosen to put there. And they put this guy, what's his name? The father, Mateen. They put him right behind Hillary Clinton. And no outrage by the media. No outrage.
That's right. They did it for a reason. If that guy had showed up behind Trump, wouldn't there have been an outrage?
That's not me, man. That's you.
We have technical difficulties.
You got some music. Look at the show phone. See if the show phone started playing or something. You got something playing.
Well, what are you doing?
I don't know.
What new miracle have you got to amaze and mystify me? Was that you?
I guess I found it was me.
It was you?
Yeah. I blamed it on him. Cole.
Well, good thing Lonnie's not here.
So he's right in the background in the optics. That's not a mistake. And now they won't disavow and they say, well, George, I'm going to ask you a question. What most upsets you today in all the news? What is the most irritating thing to you today? I got a whole list, don't know where to start.
Well, basically they're dishonest. I find their dishonesty appalling, absolutely appalling. We're the only honest people on this news thing.
George, I'm concerned about the FBI. I mean, I read Judicial Watch.
There's a long story about Comey and his relationship with the Clintons. It's unveiling itself now. The FBI director, he should consider maybe resigning. The pressure's going to go back. He's going to ruin the FBI, and it comes back to a matter of
ruined. The State Department's in a mess. The State Department's in a mess.
The not the FBI.
I know, but they're in cahoots. Judicial Watch, this is yesterday, released another 296 pages. Uma Abedin's emails show the Clinton Foundation donor demands on the State Department, and they were complicit in it. I mean, George, anyone else? You know what they said? The Watergate, when they broke in, they said the thing that was unusual is these weren't your usual crooks. They were all wearing suits and ties. All of them that came out were wearing suits and ties. Okay, so these weren't your usual crooks. You know, just because you're wearing a suit and tie
doesn't mean you're not a crook.
Right, exactly. Right, and but we have proof.
Or a pantsuit without a tie.
We have proof that Uma Abedin's emails show the Clinton Foundation. We have proof that to this date, 171 of the new Clinton emails, not part of the 55,000 that she turned over to the State Department, further contradict her statements that as far as she knew, they were all turned over. I mean, anybody else, there's enough here to arrest them today. Am I lost my mind? Because if I
No
have,
kidding, no kidding.
I'll
No
take
kidding.
it from you. I couldn't take it from anybody else, but if you want to tell me I've lost my mind today,
No,
go
no,
ahead.
when we get to my final moments, my final comments, I will examine a very distinct possibility.
All right, well, I can't wait for that. Now, my other one here is, that, George, this bothers me because there's always been a lot made where they call me and you and others out there conspiracy theorists. At the end of the day, there's a 27-year-old kid. He's a kid. He's dead. He's a DNC staffer. And this guy's dead. I watched the interview with his parents. I watched the interview with his, I watched the interview with this Julian Assange, and I've read the article. The kid was shot in the back, 2 shots, nothing missing. They didn't steal anything. His wallet's intact, his credit card's intact, his watch, his phone, his money.
Marks of an assassination.
Sources say that the guy was on his way. This is one of the things, ongoing court case, probably involved. They say shortly after the killing, the internet started going wild, saying that Rich was en route to the FBI the morning of the murder, apparently intending to speak to a special agent. Deborah Wasserman Schultz, my opinion is she's involved. The DNC, whatever the DNC leak cost 4 of the top DNC their job. The chair, the CEO, the CFO, and the chief of communications. And I mean, I don't know. I'm just very upset over that.
You think it's a conspiracy?
I don't think it's a conspiracy, but I believe somebody close to the candidate.
Clintons.
Yes.
They have a long history of having dead people in the wake of their malfeasance, all along, including Arkansas state troopers, private investigator, lawyer, all kinds of problems.
George, all the media this morning is in an outrage over the NRA stand and fight. The NRA, they're in an uproar because
we have nothing to defend.
Because Trump said, if you let her pick these judges, it's over. And then he said, well, you got the NRA people.
Yeah.
Well, now they're saying he implied something, and the Secret Service. Well, you know as well as I do, George, if you're a candidate and you report a concern you have to the Secret Service, they have to note it. They have to note it. Mm-hmm. So they're saying, oh my God, the Secret Service is even commented on this. No, they logged in the complaint.
Complaint, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sure. That's all. That's all. It's just part of the work, part of the daily activity of a Secret Service man.
That's pretty much all I got, George. That's all that's going on in
Well,
the
here's
crazy
one
world.
for
What do
you.
you
Trump.
got?
Trump says he does not want nice people in his future administration. He does not want, he wants tough people who will get the job done.
I can apply.
Well, do it.
I can
No,
apply.
no.
I can do it, Donald. I mean, I see your
Is that Debbie Wasserman Schultz?
Yeah.
They make her look like Meg Ryan. She's the
Well-
ugliest woman there is, second only to Hillary.
We found another picture of her. Show us that other picture of Deborah Wasserman Schultz that Cole found earlier. This is the one we found earlier of her right there.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Methuselah.
Yeah, that's the one we found of her.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll get that off the screen. Trump is going to change everything up there, and he's going to dismantle the place and take it apart. My concern, and I'll say concern, is the American people going to support that?
Well, he said he is not going to hire people, nice people in his administration when he becomes president. He will hire people like Chris Christie, Lieutenant General Flynn, and it'll be interesting to see who he actually puts in there, because he will be a person who demands of them excellence. You do your job, you're fine. You don't do your job, you're out. You're fired. That type of thing. He remarked, where was it, in North Carolina? He was making these remarks.
Yes.
He sidestepped the controversy surrounding his earlier remarks regarding whether the Second Amendment, and we just discussed this, could help thwart judges that Hillary Clinton would select as president. Instead, it says he used the time on stage in Fayetteville to list people who would work in his administration, including Christine Flynn. He said, "I might not have been nice, who cares? We have some of the greatest business leaders in the world that have endorsed me and want me to win. We will use these people. Some of them are not nice people. Do we care? Do we care?" Well, I trust a man who can say that. Don't you trust a man who can say that? Let's get the job done. Let's get this country moving. Let's get headed in the right direction. So he has a responsive crowd listening to him wherever he goes. And he doesn't want to get, apparently he avoids the useless conversations that the media brings up about whether the Second Amendment was meant to, as a signal to assassinate Hillary Clinton. Her health is still poor anyway. She's not going to last.
Nobody is asking or advocating for
Not a
anybody
word.
to shoot anybody.
Not a word.
Except for Hillary.
Except for Hillary.
Hillary,
Yeah.
no, Hillary advocated it. She could say what she wants. Donald says, well, you got those Second Amendment people. Okay, and that's all he says, okay?
Yeah.
And they have spun that into his signal to assassinate. Now, George, were you in California with Robert Kennedy? Were you still out there when Robert Kennedy got assassinated?
What year was that?
What was it, 60, 66, 65?
Yeah, I was on the highway.
66,
I was on the highway patrol then
Okay.
when that happened. I was in probably, yeah.
But we know California is a late primary. It's very late, very late primary. It's in June, getting ready to go to your convention, and usually the nomination is ramped up. So remember when Hillary was running against Barack Obama, right?
Yeah, and she brought up the Kennedy
and they were
assassination.
basically, the media was basically asking her in an interview, you know, why don't you get out? Why don't you get out of the race? Basically, the nominee, it's wrapped up, and she says, well, my husband won in June, and we got to remember in California, Robert Kennedy was assassinated in California in June. So basically, I need to be here in case somebody shoots Barack. Well, did I say it wrong? I mean,
Yeah, well, that's a conspiracy theory, isn't it?
well, but
It's hers, not ours.
but are her words not actually more implying what could happen to
Yeah, sure.
to Barack Obama than Trump saying NRA?
Yeah.
Do you realize that we are that close to NRA being, they want to not just make your Second Amendment and your guns go away, they want to make NRA go away too.
Well, they're going to have a hard time doing that. And one last point, too. Remember the assassin of Bobby Kennedy? He was a Muslim.
Well, I
We
know.
cannot ignore that fact.
I know that like I said, the Clintons continually show up around, dead people continually show up around the Clintons. Continually do that. There's a 27-year-old kid, and let me tell you something, this needs to be investigated as far as it can. It can't be let go. This kid's,
Who's going to investigate it? Judicial Watch is the only one doing any good.
uh,
FBI can't do it. They're tainted. Comey has tainted that organization.
State Department, Al-Badin, look at what's going on in our State Department. Our State
Her
Department's
emails,
a disaster.
Her emails have absolutely demonstrated that she is a member of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Folks,
And
I'm
that's
your,
not a conspiracy.
Huh?
And that's not a conspiracy.
it's not, that's exactly right.
You know, John Wayne said, whether someone's quoting John Wayne, he says, if I was alive, I'd vote Republican. But since I'm dead, I'll probably vote Democrat.
Do what?
It was a quote, a John Wayne quote. There's a picture on the internet of John Wayne. And he said, and the quote was, if I was alive, I'd vote Republican. But since I'm dead, I'll probably be voting Democrat.
Well, you know, George, I was looking here before we go to the break. I was looking around. I'm going to
You
show
didn't
you
hear it the
something.
second time, did you? It went right
Well,
over
I
your head.
seen something here. I understand live, dead, all the above. The Ferguson second year. We got our Constitution from Mr. Khan here. We keep it on a daily basis. I'm your host, BKP. The show comes with a warning. We do have our Stand and Fight NRA hat, so be careful, very cautious out there. It's okay if you have lyrics on your kids' CD this morning or earphones that talk about bitches, hoes, and pimp slapping, but you need to warn your children about the NRA and the dangers of the Second Amendment. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. George and I will be right back after these brief messages.
Yes, shocking, shocking.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine.
El Rey.
El Rey and Ellijay.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford.
50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours.
Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95.
And there's several more on the lot just like it.
Yes, 50 trucks must go, and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models.
You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings.
Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Here with George, but before we start, if you'd like to be a sponsor of our show, we'd love to have you. Don't forget, Clock Tower Gifts and Boutique, located in Jasper. Schottenkirk Ford, located on the southbound side of 515 there in Pickens. In Jasper, also Schottenkirk Ford. 1907 Restaurant, located off the square here in Ellijay. Great place to stop and have lunch. North Georgia Diamond, located in the East Ellijay Walmart Shopping Center. Promotional code fetchyournews.com. George, you know, immediately when this happened yesterday, Hillary Clinton's campaign set this all up and calling it the Donald Trump threat. Hillary Clinton campaign is worried about Donald Trump's Second Amendment comment on Tuesday, but not worried enough to make a little money off of it. Okay, Hillary wants to essentially abolish the Second Amendment. Okay, Trump said during the North Carolina rally on Tuesday, NBC reports. By the way, if she gets to pick her judges, nothing you can do, folks. Although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is, I don't know. That's the comment.
It's a good comment.
And they felt threatened. Those Second Amendment people.
Yeah.
That's what you've turned into.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Hillary Clinton's campaign, they're in such fear.
Well, and so is the Republican GOP elite, the left-handed Republicans. They are in fear. That's why they're going all out to defeat Trump. I mean, they're going all out to defeat Trump.
It's all in, everybody. Look at the 50. Oh, I was talking to somebody yesterday and I said, are you going to support Trump? I can't support Trump. I said, why? They said, did you not see the 50 that came out, the national security people that said he will drag us into war? That's getting out there. They're all in. It's all in. Now, I hear Hillary Clinton
will drag us into war.
Is so concerned about Donald Trump's comments that she will not let one of her campaign staffers go out alone without a gunman right behind them.
Okay.
I got you, right?
Yeah. That's interesting. I don't need a gunman.
No. Hey, is he going out? Keep an eye on him. We want him to be safe. You know what Hillary Clinton? You know what Hillary Clinton's version of safety is? If you tell, I kill you, and I stay safe.
That's it.
My secret's safe.
That's it. That's it. That poor guy, that 27-year-old who got blasted.
It's not funny. I mean, this is where we're at. We got the FBI, the State Department.
It's the epitome of all conspiracy theories.
Huh?
It's the epitome of all conspiracy theories.
Yes, I agree, but I can't call it a conspiracy theory when Assange is talking about it. Okay, first of all, it's all set up. The very first thing when the emails dropped, what did they do? They said Russia. And then Trump was friendly with Russia. So they played the Russian card, okay? From Russia with love.
That didn't go anywhere.
Right?
Yeah.
And immediately it starts coming out, Russia didn't have anything to do with this, okay?
Maybe.
But Assange says no. Julian Assange says no. Russia didn't have anything to do with this. Then this kid is killed, and then Assange goes on an interview and says, look, this kid gets killed, and these are the kind of people that send us information. Just saying, George. Just saying.
Got it. I understand it. I understand it.
I have been waiting. I got a couple things we have to close with because don't forget at 10 o'clock it'll be time for the Scott Farrell Show. You want to stay tuned for that one. Don't let that. Don't miss Scott Farrell 10 o'clock. Always has some great guests from 10 to 12 Monday through Friday. We have the what is the children the Stewarts? Stewards of Children. We want you to stay tuned for that. And also after the brief commercials, the Scott Farrell Show at 10 o'clock. So to set that up, I have been waiting. You got me waiting for this final thought. I got a couple things I got to do. So what do you
remember? Yesterday I read an essay on just titled "Trust," and I put it out 3 weeks ago. It was before I went on my holiday out west, and I dashed this one out this morning because it was so apparent. It's still a matter of trust. And I mentioned in that previous essay that the fabric.
Hold on
that-
just a second. Do you have the scene for this?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Sorry, George. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I mentioned in that essay yesterday that the fabric that binds us together as a society is trust, and the loss of that trust through lying, deception, redefinition of common terms to fit one's agenda, and simply ignoring criminal acts committed by the people in power is a sure precursor to conflict. In a one-on-one argument, somebody often gets a black eye or the nose broken. Well, that's fair enough. In today's society, whole groups have been stirred up by government lying, deception, and redefinition. That the near open conflict Obama apparently so desperately desires awaits us on the horizon. The thin blue line, our police forces, represents the pointy end of the stick to defend us against criminality, lawlessness, and anarchy. Through Obama's lying, incidents like Ferguson, Baltimore, and other places, that thin blue line has now been redefined as society's real enemies. And they should be attacked. To the likes of Al Sharpton and others, let the attacks begin. America is at a crucial point in the process of facing the future. Who will lead us? The left-handed Republicans, led by Paul Ryan now, and the old elite oligarchs now on their way out, are near epileptic at the prospect that Donald Trump, crude in his pronouncements, truthful in his observation, and efficient in his business acumen, should become the Republican Party's president. To them, it makes no matter that Hillary Clinton, the most criminal, wicked, awful, sick, demented, lying candidate the Democrat Socialist Party has ever put forth, since her husband Bill, that they should openly prefer her over the necessary changes that are coming. That change, to include trust, is coming whether peacefully during this next election cycle or in conflict when the final last thread of the fabric of public trust is finally severed. Probably purposefully by the one world government crowd that Obama represents. And our America is once again plunged into conflict so that the roots of the tree of liberty can again be refreshed by the blood of tyrants and patriots. Here's the question. Who do you trust? Clinton, whose record of deception, lying, incompetence, and political clumsiness is now confirmed, or the populist pragmatist represented by Donald Trump, who speaks to the people telling the truth? It is the media who spins Trump's comments into stories so they can have something to talk about and take our eyes off America's serious problems, including the awful potential of a Hillary presidency. Certainly no one trusts Obama anymore. He's on the way out. But can Hillary trust him? We know what he believes. Now, he believes he is the potential intellectual superior who should rightfully assume the reins of the one world government he so hopefully expects will soon develop. Under the present circumstances surrounding Hillary's transparent criminality, what if she is elected? But before her swearing in, Obama allows the DOJ to indict her on crimes, thus removing her and the Clinton machine from America forever. Her VP choice will instantly become a nobody. House Speaker Ryan cannot advance, and so Obama, still sitting as president, will announce that he will remain in the president's seat until America's political and economic situation can be repaired. Can he be retrusted? Of course not. So let the anarchy begin. Conflict is coming. An American Civil War, if that's what it becomes, will consume much of the problems that Americans face. Old scores will be settled and new ones created. The still hidden problem of Islam, lurking within our midst, will blossom forth as a solution, but one that leads to the total slavery of everybody. It is decision time, folks. Remember, freedom is the goal, and the Constitution is the way.
Thank you, George, very much. I appreciate it. I like the way you always end in certain ways, and just it impresses upon me. It is decision time, folks. It is decision time. A couple quick notes. Number one, I've been kind of playing around this morning. Where is Lonnie? We're just happy to have Cole with us, and he's coming along real well, doing a great job producing the shows. Lonnie is at a Gilmer County Board of Commissioners workshop this morning, a marathon workshop. They hold them on Wednesday mornings at 8 o'clock. So Lonnie is over there videoing and covering a Board of Commissioners. We're really diversifying some things here and growing at rapid speeds at FetcherNews.com, FYN TV. If you'd like to be a part of FYN TV, like to do your own show, or if you'd like to, if you're a broadcaster and you'd like to do a noonday newscast, we'd like to talk to you. Or if you'd like to, if you're a reporter, a writer, and you just want to cover certain things in your county or cover an entire county of local government and events happening in your county, get in touch with us, Chief at FetcherNews.com. We're looking for people in Dawson, Lumpkin, White County, Union, Towns, Fannin, Gilmer, and Pickens, Murray County, Georgia, and Cherokee County, North Carolina. Get in touch with me today. So that being said, Lonnie's over covering the Gilmer County Board of Commissioners meeting. Scott Farrell's show is up next. George, I think the Tea Party is going to have to get a grip, and I say a grip nationwide. Now, there's the old thing of preaching to the choir. And if everybody goes and eats lunch every day and preaches to the choir and each other and tells each other that Hillary's a crook and Hillary's a crook and Hillary's a crook, or they come up with these subjects, okay, that are useless conversations, whether I'm making people mad or not, we're going to be sitting around and Hillary's not going to just be a crook, she's going to be a president crook. So we got
crooked president.
Crooked president. You're going to have to, the Tea Party out there, you're going to have a meeting, get your message together. Okay? I know what you're going to say. Are you going to say, well, we have a great representative in our local area, we need to get them elected? This is true. We have a great senator in our area, we need to get them elected. This is true.
Who would that be?
Okay. No, I'm talking generally, nationwide, anybody like that. Okay? But if you're saying that and you're focusing on that, that's great. If you do not get Donald Trump elected, I don't care how angry you get, and Hillary Clinton becomes elected, gets elected president, your representative you tried to get elected is irrelevant. Your senator that you try to get elected is irrelevant. It's irrelevant, period. You need to put all hands on deck to get Donald Trump elected. Now, stop fighting with your neighbor. Take a page out of the 10 Commandments. Love your neighbor, okay? Because let me tell you who is on the fence of voting for Donald Trump, believe it or not, is the person sitting to the left of you and to the right of you at church. So you go and you preach to the choir, and you stand up and you preach to the choir. I'm talking about the Tea Party. And you have meetings and you get up and you get all upset about this and that. That's fine. I'm not telling you not to have the meetings. But you got to go to the churches. Go to your Board of Education meeting. Your people sitting to the left and right of you, they're on the fence. Go to your Board of Commissioners. Go to your county meetings, your town events, your Chamber of Commerce events. Those people are sitting on the fence. If you get all grouped up in the Tea Party twice a month and you start yelling that somebody's corrupt and this and that, all you're doing is preaching to the choir. But if you'll go to your Chamber of Commerce local meetings, you go to your after-hour meetings and talk to them. Get stuff prepared to talk to them. Talking is not attacking. Don't attack them. Talk to them. Talk to them about Supreme Court. You will be shocked. You are the 3% that pay attention. Okay? If you walk in to a Chamber of Commerce lunch and there are 100 people there, I'm going to tell you right now, not talking down to them, but you'll understand what I'm saying. They're busy, they're working, they're small business owners. They know that the Supreme Court is in the balance, but they don't think about it. So if you look at them and say, do you realize the next president may pick at least 3 or 4 more Supreme Court justices? No, I haven't thought about that, right?
They're down royal butter.
But that's where you got to go. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sure. That's what we have to do.
Get out there and do something. Go
but
get them.
But don't attack them.
Go get them.
Talk to them. Take your facts with you. Talk to them. Right. Don't attack them, right?
Yep.
That's, folks, you have to do that. I'm your host, BKP. Let me give you a couple things real quick that we're working on tomorrow. Can you put that up here? Tomorrow at 8:30, my guest, we're going to be talking about Donald Trump's tax plan. My guest will be Steve Moore, economist Steve Moore, that actually was on the team and has written this tax plan. Very responsible for what you heard. We're going to talk to him tomorrow at 8:30. He'll be our guest here on Good Morning from the Office. Also, with my last 4 minutes, we are working on, and I'm serious, this is something, could you take Mr. All right, we're working on what I call Fannin Cartel the movie. And that's not a joke, we're working on it. Because here's what I want to know. You remember the checks that were supposed to be cashed by the judge? Now you read all the articles out there. All the articles, judge misused her power, tossed this guy in jail, judge did this. Where are the checks? Where are the checks that he alleged she cashed? How come as powerful and big, we're just Fetcher News, we're little guys up here, right? How do we know this in the power of the press, of the Chattanooga Free Times, and as big as they are, and AJC? How come they haven't written the story about the smoking gun, the check that supposedly the judge had cashed? Because it's not out there.
It's not out there.
It's not out there, folks. We're going to work on that. We are going to talk about Fannin County. We're doing a PowerPoint graph. We're calling it Fannin County, the Fannin Cartel, the movie. Now let me ask you a question. This is just a thought, because I don't know, just could end up in the movie. Now, if Scott Kiker is the probate judge, okay? Now think about them trashing Judge Weaver, okay? Scott Kiker's probate judge, Fannin County. Lynn Doss is co-counsel. Do you know what that means? That means Scott Kiker still has a private practice that he takes cases. Now, Lynn Doss is the county attorney. Okay, nothing wrong with that. He's probate judge, she's county attorney. All right? So, they are co-counsel on cases in Cherokee County and Cobb County, co-counsel. Now you mix in that the probate judge in Fannin County has a public defender that gets paid out of their budget. And who would that be? That'd be Harry Doss, Lynn Doss's husband. What a circle. So I do an open records request, right? Who sends me a letter? Lynn Doss, not Scott Kiker, not the probate judge. Lynn Doss sends me a letter. Tells me my open record request will cost $4,200. All right? And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. You're the county attorney. You're the county attorney. You represent the probate judge that you are co-counsel with, that your husband gets $863 a month for being a public defender. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that, right, folks? No, nothing wrong with that. Where's the check? We're going to work on that, folks. Ada Street LLC. Oh, my God, what a mess last night. They are getting ready, the city's getting ready to get sued again because Ada Street LLC and the partners did not, I'm going to say they reapplied this time with their constitutional challenge for their zoning. Okay? They have a constitutional challenge on their zoning. We'll explain more of that. The city of Blue Ridge, they're going to have a problem when this lawsuit ends because it may cost citizens a lot of money, but who cares, right? You got the money. It's pride getting in the way.
What difference does it make?
What difference does it make?
Yeah, right.
George, I'm glad to have you back. Glad that you and Enda are back. You're getting settled in. Everybody comfortable at the house?
Well, we're back, and I've got tons of stuff, and I'm rearranging, trying to get ready for the travel show that we're doing, and trying to keep these short takes going and work on one of the other two projects that I started. A genealogy, family history I'm writing for my family that finally got things collected. And so I'm busy. So I'll stay alive for a while.
We'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Good Morning from the Office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. And stay tuned after these brief messages here, the Scott Farrell Show at 10 o'clock. You don't want to miss that. I'm your host, BKP, here with George McClellan.
See you tomorrow.
And we'll be back tomorrow morning. We're out of here.
Bye.